Josh, you talked a lot about use case-based and agile deployment, and that's something that Passerelle really leans into is use case-based deployment and aligning use case to business value and return on investment. So as you look at the technologies that you are here representing, what would you recommend as a high impact, low lift, first use case for getting started with your technology? And we'll start with that.
That's an easy one. You just mentioned speed. The opportunity is always going to win. We're cloud native. You can sign up for free today, right now. At the time it took you to watch us talk about this, you can already sign up right now on our website. Go to Snowflake Partner Connect. We're up and running. If you're in a POC looking at something else, we can probably beat that POC time to value.
And do you want to really quickly outline what ALTR is?
Yeah, ALTR, we're a data security platform. You can find us in the Gartner Market Data Security Platform Market Guide. We provide access controls, data protection at runtime and at rest, data classification, you can get tags in Snowflake, and automate your policies in no code throughout your Snowflake platform. Some of the biggest things that our customers like is not only that, but the real-time observability and auditing that comes with the policies that we generate automatically. There's things, the most advanced stuff that we can use in native Snowflake capabilities that your do-it-yourself teams won't ever really think about or even try doing. It's kind of really throws and a lot of that in there. So that was all.
Okay.
Yeah, no, and before I talk about use case, I'll just say that from Passerelle's perspective and my personal perspective, from a data governance view, we're huge fans of the ALTR platform. Enormously useful, easy to use, administer tool at a low cost point. And we were talking earlier about the CAT exam, right? If you're looking to improve your security and regulatory posture from a data accessibility standpoint, ALTR is a tool that will immediately pay dividends in that area for you. But specific to the use case question, every institution is different, both from a strategy, culture, and problem issue standpoint. And at the risk of, again, staying in the weeds and not necessarily advocating for any individual piece of technology that's here, something that you could do today if you haven't considered, right, that could provide immediate dividends given the market that we're in and the liquidity concerns and the deposit acquisition concerns. Go and look at your previous mortgage and loan applications over the past couple of years and look for opportunities where either applications that were funded or are still in the queue, and look for available assets from that were communicated as part of those applications for both the primary borrower and the co-borrower, right? So there are opportunities there for you to mine and look for sources of funds that are they're not going to be found in your core, and they're not going to be necessarily found in your loan originations and your loan servicing platform. They're going to be in your loan origination system. So whether or not you're able to get to that data in a tabular format, or if you want to use a potential large language model, again, not a big lift, or not looking to make it a big lift, but being able to mine that information and look for those that are who apply and have assets, whether it's stocks, bonds, mutual funds, or other that you could potentially reach out to those customers is an area that we're seeing others institutions start to tap into to look for sources of funds and deposit acquisition.
This will be more cheery, I promise. So the challenges are real, right? So from a use case standpoint, and I'm lucky enough to get to see what JP gets to do down to the smallest credit unions around. So I think holistically, let's abstract it back. There is a protect and connect strategy. So where should you start? We can choose one, but I really think it goes back to return on investment, right? What is your data state? What is the fastest time to lift to the priority of the bank? So we are seeing tremendous amounts of work in risk and regulatory work. Okay, I'll use the framework of liquidity. I'll use liquidity coverage ratio. But after we saw post SVB, everybody, whether it's the largest banks or the smallest banks, are trying to understand on an intraday basis their highly liquid assets relative to deposits. Whether that's going to come from a Fed or an FDIC audit, or it's going to come from the concept that you just want to be able to have protection so you have confidence when you're reaching out to your customers. And then the second lens on the connect side is absolutely you can take customer experience, but it's really understanding your client footprint, a better onboarding experience. And then last but not least, yes, of course, a cross-sell and upsell. How are you householding? And I think This is where you then can take to that next leap. Maybe this is version 3.0 or 4.0, but this is where it needs to go is to compete, there is some of that hyper-personalization. How can you make what you're bringing out to your customers to retain them personalized to them, right? Like I said, I have 4 kids, I have 3 brothers, and my parents are now 80. We're all using digital banking on some level. My parents are still at Winchester Savings Bank, probably about 20 miles from now, right? My kids use any application that somebody had given them to utilize their money, right? I think it's being able to bridge the gap between either fintech partnerships and how you wish to then grow and accelerate your business, leverage on that foundation of data to protect the bank or connect better with your clients. Those are the use cases, but then again, each one discreetly of the folks in this room will have their own choice and where you want to prioritize that first based upon your strategy and the focus.
So with my prior mention of customer experience as a potential challenge, I see an opportunity. So that is probably the use case that I would grab right away. And I would think, Jimmy mentioned personalization, certainly an opportunity there, but the power of the analytics to drive a better customer experience with some of the things I mentioned earlier, such as understanding churn and retention, and also the generational differences on appealing to the various generations. Jimmy mentioned his 4 kids. I've got 4 kids. They all have very, very different expectations and ways that they use and manage their money. So completely agree with that. I think customer experience is what we're used to.
Can I say something positive?
Yeah.
Was that positive?
Well, I think the positive spin on that is the solutions are all up here. So it's not like it's something that we have to figure out or unlock. But we have done something using the solutions that these folks have built, their companies have built, and it's easily accessible. It's just kind of overcoming those internal conversations and getting people on board. But the good news is, no matter how big or how small you are, this will work.
What about just lowest lift?
Lowest lift.
Yeah.
I think I'll go back to speed again. The win for us was we had a problem we had to solve with a quick turnaround, which was going to cost us a lot of money if we were unable to. We were able to ingest data, make a quick turnaround. So I think just having the tool set that is easily available that you probably don't have today. Like I said, it was going to be a 10-person job, a couple of weeks, or we just used Snowflake. Did the trick.
Just positively, we are seeing absolute tremendous amounts of acceleration. Biggest banks to, could be out of the 9,000 banks, could be bank number 5,000. It's that personalized marketing and marketing optimization around the data. It's universal. I think there's a heavy amount of ROI on that use case, understanding clients for the retention, churn that Carter was talking about without a doubt.